Hey everybody, it's Allison and welcome back to the Unamundum YouTube channel. Today I will be doing a lesson on how to make a good to-do list. So this is going to include some of my tips and tricks and how I organize my to-do list. Okay, so I like to make my to-do lists in the Apple Notes app, but you can also make them in Google Docs or of course on paper, but I just prefer to do it on the computer so I can move things around and not have to worry about squeezing things into space, like everything will automatically adjust on its own. So first I'm going to show you how I do it on the Notes app, and then at the end I'll show how you can also make checklists on Google Docs to use as well. Personally, I really like using the Notes app just because I can access it super easily from my phone as well as my computer. Some people don't have an Apple computer, so that's why I'm going to show how to do it on Google Docs. So starting off, I'm going to show you how to make your to-do list on Notes. So we're going to start a new note and then label it to do. And then you're going to go up to this icon right here and click the check mark. And then you can type homework and then you can select it and then mark it as done. This is just a really good way to keep track of everything that you have to do. So I'm going to point out a couple things about my to-do list. I organize my to-do list by putting long term at the top, and then this is just any dates that I have coming up. So for example, I have a math test coming up, an English essay, some AP exam, and then finals week as well. So this just helps me to plan my time, sort of see what long-term things that I need to be working on and be able to keep them in the back of my mind, because especially when you have a lot of tests coming up, this is a really good way to have everything in one view and be able to see it every time you're looking at what you need to do. So then after that, I do the days of the week in reverse order. So this is chronologically upwards. And then that way what it does is I can continue my list on. So for example, if on Thursday I decide that I want to start planning for the next week, I can continue on up here. And then that way it can be sort of a running list. So as I finish these, I can add the next week. And then if I get assigned something and I don't want to forget, I can just work my way up and put the days in as I go. And the reason I do this as well is because that way, once your to-do list continues expanding, it's better to have it at the top right when you open it versus having to scroll all the way down every single time. That's also why I like to keep this long-term section at the top. It's the first thing I see when I open the note. So that's really helpful. So another thing that I want to point out is you want to make your points on your to-do list very, very specific. So for example, instead of writing finish homework, you could say finish chem homework, finish math homework, and then within that, if you have like two different chem worksheets. So for example, down here, I wrote chem, and then underneath it, I've written my two worksheets. So that way, once I finish this one, I can check it. Another thing that I like to put on my to-do list, even though it's not technically something that I need to do, I like to put any school events that I have. So for example, if I had a tennis match on Wednesday, I would put that so that when I'm planning ahead for my week and stuff, I can see I have a tennis match, so I might want to get this math homework done ahead of time. You could put your club meetings, anything like that. And then you can also put your chores on here. I do that sometimes too. I find to-do lists very helpful because it really keeps me on track. I don't have to remember everything. So next I'm going to show you how to make a to-do list on Google Docs. The way that you do this is you're going to go to the bullet points and then choose the drop-down menu and then select this one, the boxes, and then you'll see that you can check it off. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. Once again, as I mentioned before, I think to-do lists are a great resource to help you stay on top of all your tasks, especially as a student. Life can get really busy, and a to-do list is a great way to keep track of everything that you have going on in your busy life. I hope this video was helpful, and as always, make sure to comment down below if you have any questions, and don't forget to follow all of our socials and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, see you next time.